What's going on, family? This is your boy Brandon Scott. Welcome back to Kickback Conversations. We're here back with the Kickback, and we have a guest who actually came for our inaugural show. She's back.
Hello.
What's going on? It's your girl DK.
Hi.
She is the friend of the pod, so we are going to jump right in on a topic that I've heard so much about. People have asked me for years, like how to navigate through this. Opposite sex best friends. How to navigate it, the do's, the don'ts, the shouldn'ts, the wouldn'ts, all those good things. So just like overall, I feel like, why do you feel like it's a challenge that people have when it comes to, well overall, why do you think it's this issue that people kind of are stumbling with when it comes to opposite sex best friends?
Boundaries.
Okay.
Boundaries in one, is it truly a platonic relationship or is it someone that you dated previously in the past?
Yes.
And how do your significant others feel about what that relationship looks like? Are they filling voids that your partner can't fill? Or is it just, I don't know. I don't think I have a backup to that one, but it's just there's always like a sticky land area.
So I'm going to give the guys overview perspective on opposite sex best friends. I feel like it can be very difficult, but to your point, you have to establish some level of boundary, right? So it has to be something where, because a lot of guys try to do this thing where they try to like, you know, have the cake and eat it too, or you know, like, or make things really, really gray. And I feel like we don't take friendships as seriously as I think sometimes we should. And just as a culture, as a generation right now, I feel like friendships are very, very serious. People, you know, have friends for 50, 60 years. You know, those solid, healthy friendships who go through all kind of different things. So when you can have a friend, to me, an opposite sex best friend, and I'll go into the benefits. I feel like some of the benefits as a guy, I can have a female tell me about, hey, these are some of the things you should look out for. Like, I know you think she likes you, but she kind of playing some games with you, right? Or, you know, or hey, handle it like this. I know you want to say it like that, but say it like this, and it might be better received. Because I know ladies, you know.
I think that goes both ways.
Yeah,
as a
exactly.
benefit for both parties.
Yes. So I think that's the thing, that if we are having a conversation of how do we do that. Now, here's the thing. I feel like another benefit is literally having somebody that you can, not like I said, not just bounce ideas and things off of, but have companionship, right? You know, it doesn't always mean that I'm going to the movies with somebody I want to date. It might be like, hey, we both like action movies. Why can't we go as friends? Or we both love, you know, her. She's an amazing artist. Like, let's go to her concert, right?
Sure, yeah.
Shout out to her, because she is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a small commercial. Let me say something about Gabby.
Diversion.
That young lady is a musical genius, and her music moves me. I feel like a lot of her lyrical content, it really speaks to me. Because a lot of people just be talking about a whole bunch of nonsense, and she has helped bring R&B back.
Yes.
To the generation. She's helped bring R&B back, true R&B, and I feel like we need to really like just give you more credit. I've seen you at concert, you delivered like a midwife. I mean, you did a great job, and not only she can sing and write and all that. I mean, she's playing piano, she's playing guitar. Old girl was on the drums. I just had to do a little small commercial for my girl.
I was about to say, I hope she get a bonus for this, because or something. Because
I'm just saying. I mean, you know, if you want to give a brother, you know, a concert ticket or something like that, whatever you want to work out, you know, we can work it out. It's the holiday season, right? So I just want to say this. I feel like that if we have a commonality that we share, concerts, movies, art galleries, you know, whatever it might be, you should be able to go to that function with an opposite sex best friend, no harm, no foul, right? So I think the companionship piece we miss out on those opportunities, because we allow people to say it only has to be romantic when a male and a female hang out together.
Yeah.
And I think that's just disingenuous. You know, what do you think?
oh, this is gonna be hard because I'm gonna really like everything you just said is how I'm
Yes.
feeling. I think it's because it's different doing things with your girls. Like, it's cool. Like, if I'm with my girls, like, it's cool.
Yes.
But I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it is totally a different vibe.
Yeah.
If I am hanging out with a guy and we share something that we both enjoy and we like, because once again, you're getting a different perspective. You're getting a perspective that's not yours. And sometimes it's a gender perspective that you're looking for.
Yes.
And so everything that you say, I definitely agree.
And I'll say this, I feel like a true opposite sex best friend is somebody I can talk to about my dating life, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it always gets weird when people say, oh, well, they don't really want to talk about that. Well, they low key like you. You know what I mean? Like, if they can never talk about, some of the things you're going through, some of the things that they're going through, that kind of tells you, like, there might be an issue here. So I think we have to kind of help navigate through that, because I feel like that people really want to have these interactions. And I feel like
it's like a level of honesty or vulnerability that you can have with opposite sex to be able to get that perspective that you're looking for.
Yes. And I think one of the most natural places this happens is at work. You hear people talk about their work husband or work wife.
I had a lot of work husbands. I mean, it's been to my benefit. Like, when I own my house and like I need to talk to contractors or something was going on, not to put people in these gender specific roles, but however, for the purpose of right now, in my life, they helped me find contractors or gave me advice on like certain things.
Yes.
So yeah, I've had tons of work husbands, or I would come and say, oh, I need this, and they're the first ones to like help me. I'm like, I'm going camping. Who has camping gear? That was a true life. They brought me all the camping gear I needed.
Wow.
Didn't even go to Walmart and buy it all.
Shout out to Ranger Rick or whoever the guy is out here with the camping gear, bro. Like, you the real MVP out here with the tent. MVP. My man had a tent, everything. He's like, oh, I got it for you. Don't worry about it. All right. All right, so what do you feel like are some of the challenges that come into place when you're talking about opposite sex best friends?
I mean, the number one thing that's out there is like that romantic portion of really about that boundary. Like, can you talk to that person about dating, or does one person have feelings, or is one person hiding back that they have feelings because they know that this is a friendship, and if you talk about those feelings, and then it's gonna like separate a little bit. I'm talking about some of this in like all true life stories. And so I think that's where it starts to come really, really sticky.
So I think I agree with what you say. I think one of the challenges too is like the competition of time. I feel like a lot of times the opposite sex best friend works really well as long as you're not in a relationship. But once you get into a relationship, naturally people tend to start spending more time with their boo, their bae, their home, whatever. You start spending more of that time, and then when you start spending more of that time, you're spending less time with that person, and low key they're just like, dang, like what happened, or you know what I mean?
I think it's interesting that this is the topic that we're talking about, only because literally this is going on right now, where it's like I have a male best friend, and it was a situation where when he was in a relationship, there were very, very clear, defined boundaries that we both respected, and that was great. But then when they broke up, it was just like naturally we just started hanging out more. Once again, very platonic, but we started to hang out way more. And so I think now I'm at that point where it's just like we spend a lot of time together, and like there's this companionship that we have. It's like, what happens when you go into another, like, and we talk about dating, so it is platonic where we talk about dating, but it's like, well, one of us is going to lose out. If one of us enters into a relationship first, there's going to be those boundaries of, hey, I can't hang out with you 2 or 3 times a week. It's not going to work.
And I think the person, if they're your friend, they respect that boundary, because if I'm your best friend, there's nobody in the world who wants to see you win like me. I want to see you win.
But then that's where it's complicated, though. It's like you want to see them win, but then at the same time, selfishly, you're dismissing your own feelings of how you feel about losing out on that person, because you do want to see them happy. Someone does lose. Someone loses.
No, but I think nobody losing happiness. Like, see, here's the thing. I feel like, but that's a conversation. If you're my best friend, that means that we communicate on a level unlike that's uncommon to man. Like, we communicate on a level where we can have those grown up, big boy, big girl conversations, right? Mm-hmm. Where we can say, you know what? Hey, how do we navigate this? How do I see you? I know you're in a relationship and everything, but I do miss that time of us doing that. Or how do I incorporate with your relationship? So it might be a concert where a group of friends goes and I go too. Or
so maybe we change the wording even a little bit, because I think what a lot of women are out here, maybe it's not our male best friend, but our male close friend. Like,
okay,
where it gets a little, still sticky.
And I think we need to really define the word best.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be real here. I don't see a lot of brothers who be like, I got 5 best friends. Y'all be having like 17 best friends, same sex best friends. Like, it's like y'all don't want, y'all just like, can we just say that one's the best, the person, you know?
No, because like me, I'm territorial with my friendships, and my friends are territorial with me. Yes. So I don't rank anyone higher than
How many female best friends do you have right now?
I have about 7.
They're not best.
They're
not best.
It's not my fault. I'm a well-rounded person. I have different interests, and just like a male companionship, I like certain music or concerts, so I have someone who does that with me. I like the theater. There's someone who might do that with me.
Okay, so let's define that as they are my best friend for this particular interest. Because my thing is
now you're putting people into categories.
No, but I'm saying
that makes it so complicated. They're just a friend. If I
ask somebody in a city I'm going to, hey, where's the best burger here? Oh, actually, there's 7 best burgers you can go.
You're gonna get. I'm a Libra, so I'm always gonna weigh things out. I'm gonna give you options and choices. I feel like that is something very, very important.
DK, it should be best. Yeah. Like the whole movie, Best Man. Shout out Morris Chestnut. Shout out Taye Diggs, Nia Long, Sanaa Lathan, Terrence Howard. All great movie. Mm-hmm. The Best Man will be a whole different movie. If it was called Best Woman, because it'd be 7 of them. It's a best man. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go down with the ship. It's a best man. You got one.
I can't. Also, plus part of me, like, I know, like, if I get married,
you have 7. Make sure it's a maidens of honor.
Everybody. First of all, I've had to pay for so many people's life events in my life, including this year alone, that they will all have to equally chip in. I don't want to have a maid of honor that has to feel like she's to chip in more. No, everyone's going to equally participate in making sure I have the best time ever.
The best time.
Either way, we're going off topic here.
Is the best time 7 times? No.
Actually, yes.
So, all right. So let's talk about. We talked about some of the, advantages. And we talked about also some of the challenges of having a success best friend. I think also when lines get gray, right?
Yeah.
That's when it comes, because most people have had an opposite sex best friend, and they're like, you know what? And it might not have crossed their mind, but it crossed their friend's mind. It crossed their family's mind, right? Mm-hmm. What about so-and-so? Y'all have such great chemistry.
So this is how you know when someone's a real best friend. Because I have my best guy friend is Damien. Shout
out Damien. What's up, man?
Hey Damien, you would appreciate that.
Friend of the pod. All right. Yeah.
So if you see Damien and I interact with each other, you would think that we could be together. You think that it would just work. Our individual families think like, have y'all ever tried? Like, what would happen? And we always go back to like this one story of the one time where it's like the pressure came down. So we were like, why don't we just kiss each other?
Right.
And then it was like disgusting. And he's like, let's try a second time, because it can't. Yeah. It has to be.
The first time, maybe y'all were a little nervous.
Yeah. No, it was like kissing my brother. It was disgusting.
Oh no.
And he told
not kiss your brother on the lips. Or your sister on the lips. That is gross.
And I say that because one of the things with him and I is like, we get along so well. He has been there for me in some of the worst moments of my life.
Yeah.
And we're great, but we argue. There are things that we know. We just know. And he's going to watch us like, oh, there's things I don't like about you either too, Delisa. But, you know, we just have this thing where we are best friends, but it would just not work out. And those are the ones that I respect. The ones where it's the gray areas. That's why I'm looking at my significant other like, she got a different motive. Yeah. You don't know it, but I see it.
Shout out Jonathan Moreno's No Gray. All right, so here we go. So with that being said, with all of that being said, we came up with a couple songs that we felt encompass this whole discussion, right? A song that is entrenched in the urban music culture. It's one of the best duets of all time.
Think about it, you know it.
Come on, what is it? Yep. RL and Deborah Cox, We Can't Be Friends. Mm-hmm. I feel like all of us have gone through that too, because not only is it tough when it comes to the challenges of an opposite sex best friend, but it comes to the point where maybe you dated somebody, you're in a relationship with that person, and you can't be friends, right? Why is that?
Because no matter what, that soul tie is there, and there's no way to put a boundary with it, I think.
But see,
it's just hard.
My question to that song always has been, if you can't be friends, were you ever friends?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people date and they're in relationships, but they never were friends.
Oh my gosh.
Real talk, right?
One of my guy best friends just said, the way I have conversations with you is not how I have conversations with them. Like, we're real friends. Like,
whoa, no.
What? What are you
talking
about?
No.
And I was like, no, but that is what you should strive for. The person that you're dating should be your best friend.
It should be. Or at least
people out there
a close friend. Like, y'all not friends at all. If y'all only... And my thing is this, a friend is somebody who has your back and you can also be real with them. Right? And have those open conversations with. You can't have those conversations with the person.
Real honest.
Yeah. Y'all should, So you have that camp of the RL and Deborah Cox, but then in the more modern times you have shout out Kiana Lede. I don't want to be your ex, right?
Ex, yeah, no.
She's like, nah. I mean, I don't want to just be your ex, right? I want to be your friend too.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah,
I'm one of those rare people that actually. I'm friends with all my exes. And I think being friends.
She's trying to keep that bed in real quick. We know.
No, it's just simply because I had a true friendship. But there's a period of time where we can't talk anymore.
Shout out to all the girls who hated her right now that are with her exes. Shout out to them. Y'all watching this?
But they all love me too. So
shout out.
Hey.
They like, I knew it. See, she's trying to make it. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I think we were friends at a certain point. We had a real friendship. We just were not compatible to be in a relationship together. Yeah. So we could get past that romance that we may have had. There's still a friendship there. I'm not saying we on the phone kikiing it every day, but we can still keep in touch and share whatever our similar interests is. And if a song comes on, I can hit you up and be like, oh my gosh, guess what just came on?
But I think it's a challenge though, because once somebody's already gone there, I think for people, they look at it as a vantage point of they've already kissed and whatnot.
I don't want none of my exes.
Right. Okay.
You move on.
You move on, huh?
Yeah.
So you don't want to be their ex. You just want to be their friend.
I want to be their friend.
Kiana Lede. Not Ario Tamia. I've had a situation. I'm just like, we can be friends, sister. I'm sorry. So the question at hand is platonic friends versus people that you formally dated, right? So how do you have platonic friends? I think that's the thing that people really, really want to know. How do I have, to your point, an opposite sex best friend, that platonic friend, it's my homie, whatever. I think we've determined we got to establish some boundaries, and we have to also let people know, what does that look like? What does that feel like? And also, it's my responsibility when I get into a relationship with somebody to also see how they feel about it, right?
Just you're in my head right now.
I have to understand, how do you feel about that? Does it make you comfortable? Because my whole thing is, when I'm in a relationship with somebody, the first person's comfort I have to understand is hers, right? Does she feel comfortable with that? So certain things, certain elements of even for me, having female best friends or female close friends, it could be something that I normally did. Hey, Brandon, come by the house, I'm cooking. I can't. Maybe my girl doesn't feel comfortable with that anymore. Where before I did
or your
that.
girl should be able to come over too.
Yeah, she should.
Not all the time, because once again, your friendships are your friendships.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying, like, for me, I always too. I feel like I want to put myself in positions to make my significant other comfortable, right? I think a lot of guys be like, man, it just happened. I don't know what happened or whatever.
You know how it happened.
It didn't happen, bro. You put yourself in a bad position,
Right.
and then you allow something to happen. So my thing is, I try not to put myself in certain positions for things to happen. And I always use this example, right? So even when, like, let's say I have a girlfriend and I have a family member coming in town, and I got some, shout out my family. I got some bad looking family members. My family's bad. I got some winners. You know what I'm saying?
any winner to chicken dinner from me.
I mean, we might be able to arrange something. We'll see. But what I would do is, if I know my family members coming, let's say it's a female and she's around my age, I would say, hey, you know, so and so's coming in town. You want to go to dinner with us tonight, or whatever? And she might be like, oh, babe, I would love to, but you know, I gotta go. I have to work late tonight. Okay, cool. So then when I go to dinner, her homegirl sees me with this beautiful woman, right? And she's like, you know, girl be
I'm real quick with
they
it.
be ready on the phone, speed dial.
But I give
girl,
person, like,
let me tell you,
I don't know
see your
who
boy.
this is, but
Mr. Charming, Mr. Brandon, over here, eating with this girl, you know, whatever. And guess what? I put her in a position where she's like, oh, that's his cousin so-and-so. You know?
that's the safety that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The safety in the previous episode that we
Yeah.
discussed. It's
Right.
just really about me understanding my place in your life.
Yes.
And even if you did not make that phone call,
Yeah.
me still feeling safe enough to know that you were going to tell me about it later,
Yeah.
and I may have had a missed call from you where you were about to tell me that
Yes.
you were going out with your cousin.
But I feel like dudes don't do enough proactive stuff. Everything is reactive. And when you're in a reactive position, that puts you in a bad position.
Right.
Even in sports, they teach that. If you're backpedaling, you want to be going forward. You want to be able to, like, you know, be proactive with it. So I think that's one of the challenges I see that hopefully that we can fix with the platonic situation. But also, I do feel like you can have friends or relationships that don't work out to turn into friendships. I've seen married people do it, and they have friends that they used to date, and they all get together. But I feel like you have to reach a certain maturity level.
There you go. Not only maturity, an emotional maturity
Yes.
level as well. Because honestly, this has to happen more. This is why I think there's so many broken families. If you could truly co-parent, that's becoming
Yes.
friends again.
Yes.
Co-parenting is becoming friends again. And I've seen certain friends that I've had who have gone through divorces, and they may have been somewhat ugly, but then they learned how to co-parent. That's becoming friends again.
Yes, and learning that, right? But I think the true element of what I have one of the best friends in America. Shout out Tony. Like he has taught me a lot of times about how to be a friend, and I think a lot of people really don't know how to be friends. They know the elements, they know kind of like the whatever. But I feel like when you understand how to be a friend, how to be there for that person, how to understand that person, how to speak to that person in the way in which they need to receive it, right? All of those
Big
different
one.
things, like then your friendships get better, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times people have falling outs because their friendships get worse because they're not really understanding. There's no growth in that friendship pattern, right? So I feel like the big part of opposite sex best friends, I have benefited so much in my life, in my career, and how I move by having that, by listening to women, by listening to their experiences and their challenges and the way they see stuff, which sometimes is totally different from how your boy sees it, right? But it helped me understand, okay, right? Oh, I was gonna do that. Oh, she probably wouldn't like it if I did that. I should ask her about that. Okay, if I do that way, okay, and wait to do that. You know, like those little nuance pieces, because y'all get it.
Yeah.
You know, and we get it too.
And vice versa.
Yeah. So I would say to make sure we establish boundaries, to have those conversations, but also really make sure that your significant other feels comfortable and have that conversation. And I think it's appropriate too to bring your opposite sex best friend and your significant other together at some point. and kick it, you know, and have a little kickback. Hey, right? And just really enjoy each other, have them get to know each other, because sometimes there's a seed of doubt in your significant other about that person, like, because they don't know them. Right? They're like, they really want to get with you low key. You know what I mean?
I can get why some of my exes, significant others had doubts, but
because I know of certain best friend, opposite sex best friends who were taking that person to nicer things than the significant other.
Now this could be like a whole 2-hour extended version.
You know what I mean?
Because
if I'm in a relationship and my opposite sex best friend is taking me to Hamilton, but my homegirl, like, she's taking me to Fridays, like, that's a different, you know what I mean? I can understand my girl being like, wait, hold on, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like,
gotta step your game up then.
Yeah, hey, okay. So how do we close out? How do we let the people know? What would your advice be to the ladies and how to navigate this?
Navigate it from the end of, if you are in the position where your guy has a best friend, there should be open, honest communication between the two of you, and part of his job is to make sure to make you feel safe. And it's not a lot to ask for if that is what you require, what you need. I think if you are trying to continue the relationship with maybe your opposite best friend, is making sure that there are those boundaries. So it's really kind of what you said in a nutshell.
Yes.
But it's about the communication. But everything is about communication, and hence why I think this kind of podcast can be in existence, because no one has all the answers, and there's a million different ways to approach anything.
Well said. I feel like just to add to that, to the fellas, I would say put yourself in position to be to win. Right? Put yourself in position for your relationship to win. So talk to your girl about her level of comfort. Hey, babe, do you feel comfortable with that? Hey, she invited me to her family's cookout. Is that cool with you? Did you want to go? Like, talk to.
See, I get that, but again, I'm also an adult, so I don't need to be coming to you to ask for permission for every single thing that I do. So I think there has to be, once again, a level of honesty and trust that is established. Right. Because I'm a grown adult.
But I mean early on. So I'm talking about when I'm getting.
I didn't mean to mess up your advice.
No, you're fine. Well, I'm saying when I'm getting to know you, right? And we're the dating part. People date and they be like, oh, what's your favorite color? No, ask about these pertinent questions that you need to know, so then I can make an informed decision of how that person feels comfortable. I may find out that the person I'm dating, the reason why she might be uncomfortable is because the last dude she dated cheated on her with his best friend.
But that goes into having those really important conversations in your relationship to understand that what triggers your significant other may have.
So my thing is proactively. I'm going to try to be as proactive as possible to put my woman in a position where she doesn't look dumb or feel some kind of way. I'm not trying to make you look crazy out here. Feel embarrassed. I want to put you in a position to win, and I want to.
So we can win.
Yes. Let's win together.
Exactly.
Ain't no fun if we can't get to the top together, right? So I think that's the thing. So I think we need to really work on that collectively as a unit, because a lot of y'all out here. Having some.
Just my last thought that I just thought of too is watching the people that you surround yourself with as well.
True.
Because if we're all together, like if I had, let's say, 2 male best friends or whatever it may be, then that person also needs to check us if something is not correct. So I think, the people that you surround yourself with, even if you think you're about to make a bad decision, there might be that third person be like, hey, remember, your girl and this and the other.
And I'm gonna say this real quick, ladies. Don't be laying up on your opposite sex best friend. That's a real confusion to a brother. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah, because I can do this.
That's cool. But I'll be saying them all laid up. Oh my gosh, are we gonna go see the movie? No, listen, that is not happening. And you're putting that. Let me say this. I don't hear a lot of brothers talk about them having a work wife, and it's a reason why they don't have that. It gets confusing and it can start an argument.
Nah, I think I'm people's work wife sometimes. If
they don't call you work wife. They be like, that's my homegirl, she's my coworker. They don't be like work wife. Y'all say work husband and it gets confusing, and then that means I don't know if someday I gotta go down to the office and check a brother. I don't know that. It confuses me. But y'all like, oh, it's my work husband. We're fine. Oh, he's so great. Is he single? He is, but wait a minute. It gets real confusing. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
We will do a poll. How many brothers have work wives? Like you call that, oh, that's my work wife.
Yeah.
And you go back to your girl and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, tomorrow, me and my work wife, we going to lunch. It's very rare. It's very rare. I'll say that. I'm just being real.
You actually starting to sound like facts.
Yes. So I'm just saying we got to be careful with even that dynamic, because I do know situations where women have called a guy their work husband and turned around, that guy started catching feelings.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Because he was trying to be more than a work husband. He was trying to be your husband. You know what I mean? So
or just play friend.
To close out, one word I would like for us to retire from the culture is wifey. Yes. Either you're going to be my wife.
Right. Actually,
or we're going to be living
that.
trife. Okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like wifey, it's such a gray word. It's like I'm not fully committing. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm on the river, I'm on the bank. Like,
or even like babe. That's my word that I'm retiring.
You're like, no, I like babe.
No, you know why? Because it goes by the same terms. Because with wifeys, you are either my wife or you're not.